All right, guys, welcome back to another training episode here, vlog number 2 of the Road to AO2. On the docket for this training session, we have 2 sessions here. Wednesday session, which is our impulse day, our velocity day, which you see me warming up here with just some jumping, just trying to get ankles warmed up, feet warmed up, calves, nervous system. Again, Wednesday being the impulse day. That's the idea of fast change of direction. You know, how hard can we push at the floor? How much velocity can we create? How much speed can we create? I think a lot of Olympic-only weightlifters, like that's all they do is Olympic weightlifting. I mean, a lot of the best are incredibly fast, incredibly athletic, but I think a lot of mid-level lifters have a hard time with the idea of speed and the hard time of athleticism. Because a lot of Olympic weightlifters are hobbyists and it's like the only sport they've ever done. And then you watch like athletes, like football players that use the Olympic lift, specifically usually hang power clean. And you're like, how the hell did Saquon Barkley freaking clean 405? It's disgusting. Not wrong from a technique perspective, but the thing athletes have is speed, aggression, and power. And power is the name of the game when it comes to Olympic weightlifting. It's power sport. And I think there should be at least a day or cycles of training dedicated to power development, to speed, to acceleration, to velocity, to impulse. So on this training cycle, Wednesday is our impulse day. It's our velocity day. It's the day we dedicate to speed right now. So we're starting off with back squats, but again, the whole goal is speed. And when you do speed, you need to work with percentages that allow you to be fast. If you go too heavy with it and you slow down, you're not getting that speed. That's why there's these devices to track this, and we don't have any of that fancy schmancy stuff. But you can see the turnaround here. This is 225. This is one of my working weights. 225 is like 60% of my back. But see my feet leaving the ground, right? I'm trying to drive through the floor. I'm trying to get my nervous system firing. I'm trying to teach myself how to have a quick change of direction. And that will have carryover into all the other lifts, quick twitch muscle fibers, just the confidence to turn around quickly. And I'll actually talk about how this day, I think, really impacted my Friday lifting, especially on my clean and jerks. But again, main focus with it's only 2 reps because we're not trying to get fatigued. We're not trying to slow down. Speed, 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 speed. Boom, that turnaround, right? Happening quick. I think the next set I go up to 245. Let's see. So one more set here. Yeah, 245 here. So now I went up, and you'll see it kind of slows down a little bit again. But let's see. Boom. Still quick on the way up. My feet are leaving the ground, right? I'd like to see a quicker turnaround, which is something that's going to be good for me on this day, is on the squats, a quick change of direction from eccentric to concentric. Right? Can I change the impulse quickly and aggressively? So let's see. Again, 245. I think this set was better because I acclimated a bit. Boom, pop, up. One more here. Solid. Yeah, look at that. Jumping off the ground. Okay. All right, that was a little much there, Sean. But now on the full lifts, power day. So again, light. This is like 140 pounds. The whole goal here is get set up, get incredibly tight, find your tension in your setup position. Find your midfoot and push through that like a motherfucker, right? Push to the floor hard, create acceleration, create speed. All right, so now we're up to 145. I'm not super worried about positions. Now, it's still Olympic weightlifting. Positions, technique are important, but on this day specifically, I'm less worried about how it looks or how perfect the technique is, and I'm more worried about effort, assertiveness, aggressiveness, speed, all those things we just talked about. That's like the point of the training day. We're using the lifts we would use in competition or whatever, but we're using this to develop speed. So we have some hang power cleans. Why am I wearing straps? Because I care far more about the change of direction, the speed, the acceleration, than I do positions or anything like that. My band, Dan, in the back there. So using straps helps. I don't have to worry about my grip being the thing that's getting me that. I'm not training my grip on this day. I'm training my speed, my assertiveness, right? My hat's falling off. But again, that change of direction, going down, up, right? Pushing through the floor. This will have great carryover when you go back to your full lifts. And I'll also say it's nice to have this in the middle of the week. Like this was the third training day in a row. We're not lifting super heavy. We need speed, we need assertiveness, but I don't need to feel super strong. We also had some seated box jumps. This is 43 inches. I think it's 43 inches. Seated box jumps, again, going from a dead stop position, create the impulse, create the speed, get up there. We have dead stop kettlebell swings here. This is a 105-pound kettlebell. Dead stop because, again, we're going from nothing to incredible speed and assertiveness. Boom, right there. Bring it back down. Dead stop, right? So everything about this day, aggression, speed, assertiveness, you name it, that's what we're gunning for on this day. And it's also, again, nice. After this, I take a day off, and then Friday rolls around, heavy Friday. I feel really good. I'm recovered. I trained some speed, etc. I did throw in here. After this, I just kind of wanted to see how high I could get. So this was 45 inches, which I think is not my best ever. I think my best ever is 48 inches, which I did when I was a competitive CrossFitter, but it's close. This was the beginning of Friday. I wasn't going to plan on filming at first, but like why wouldn't I? That's a 335 front squat. It was just like start off with a heavy. It's supposed to be RPE 8. I was getting yelled at by my boys because that was not an RPE 8. That was probably like an RPE 6. This was the beginning of my bachelor party, actually. I had my bachelor party this past weekend, and I wanted to start my day off with my training. And so we had some waves on snatches after that, which today, this Friday is like the heaviest I've gotten on snatches in like 7 months. Got 155 here. Things were looking really solid. Bottom position's looking good. Speed, aggression. That's Courage the Cowardly Dog right there as far as the shirt is concerned. Got that from a thrift store. Mike here hitting, I think this is 180. Looking pretty solid from him. Big thing we're working on with him is on his turnover. Trying to keep his knuckles pointed down as long as possible, trying to get a really good high pull. He has that tendency to hit extension. Maybe the bar gets up towards the rib cage area and he starts his turnover. That bar just starts to drift away from him. So trying to get him to keep those knuckles pointed down as long as possible. That was a really good looking set. 165 there. I was really happy with how these looked for me today. I'm stoked with how those loos are feeling, my positions, my T-spine mobility. Mike did a good job there of getting back down there and just sitting with it. So that was 190. This is 180 for me. Very good speed. You can start seeing I'm starting to be pretty fast here, getting under. And we'll really talk about this on the clean and jerks. I really think that Wednesday speed day, I was able to translate into this day. I was thinking aggression, speed. I wasn't worrying as much about finishing my pull, even though I was. I was thinking, like, get under, be quick, be athletic, Sean. Anytime for me that I'm thinking about being athletic, being fast, being quick, like back when I played college football, my lifts are better. I'm stronger. Everything's great. So that's kind of what I was thinking about on this day. But you can see I'm getting under that sucker fast. Maybe not completely finishing my pull or whatever, but rock back on my heels there in the catch, but again, light enough that it's like, yeah, just make the correction, rock back forward. Starting to bend my elbows a little soon. That's a tendency I have because I have long wingspan. 205 here for Mike, but it helps me get it into the socket, but then, you do lose some power. Some solid snatches from him there. And then, am I at my 205? No, okay, so no, I'm at 190, so not getting up to the 200 quite yet. Could have locked my mid back down more. That was good to see. Didn't pull my chest through as much, and it was a little bit in front of me on that first one. Let's see how I correct here. Yeah, better. Good. A little cheeky. Looking over at my my friend Justin. And this is 215 for Mike. Pretty solid lift. Again, could have finished with more of a high pull, but nonetheless. I was not supposed to do 205, but I was like, screw it. I'll take it. Which is what I say in the video. Like, I'll take it. That's the heaviest I've snatched in like 7 months. Over 200. No misses on that day. A lot of volume. 321, 321. So to finish at 205, I'll take for like week 0, technically, of training. Moved on to clean and jerks. We were just meant to stay across here. We had a 1+2, 1 clean, 2 jerks, 5 sets. My dumbass wrote 5 sets. It's good. At 75%, so not really heavy. So I'm only working 225 here. Now, what you will notice and what I notice watching these back is how fast my clean starts to get. Like, I get very fast under this thing. And even my dip in my drive starts to be really quick. Not this one per se, but even that split, that was a fast split. I got my legs out very quick. I haven't felt this fast and aggressive on clean and jerks in a very long time, and I really think it's because I was walking up to the bar and I was thinking about Wednesday's training. I was like, just think speed, get under, be fast, be aggressive, be assertive, and I think it really helped. Mike here, one of the reasons we're doing volume on jerks is just to give him more jerk exposure. His clean is fantastic in comparison to his jerk. The boy just always needs more jerk work. So again, sometimes, and what you'll see here is I'm not completely finishing my pull on some of these because I'm so focused on speed. I'm not super worried about it right now. We're going to have pull work as it gets heavier, and I'm going to have to think about pulling. I just know for me that my lifts feel best when I'm thinking about speed, power, and aggression. And so that's what I'm trying to do here on this Friday session. Solid clean from Mike there. He had one of these where his... No, that was good. That was good. He had one set where his timing was a little weird. That was a good set. That was a good set. All right, so I think this one is one of my most explosive. Yeah, like getting under that fast, popping it up nice and high as I stand up. See how the jerks look here. Saw a little dip and drive. You can see how my mobility is not... Like that right arm, it looks like I have my elbow bent. I don't. I don't really know. I just think it's like if I don't spend enough time on my T-spine and my warm-up or my mobility before warming up, I'm just not as locked out as I could be. And I like a closer grip for my jerk, unfortunately. It's weird. Like, I feel more secure when my hands are a little bit closer on my jerk, even though I have long arms. So then it's like, well, that's the trade-off. You can see, like, I have not a close grip, but I just like the way it feels on my clean. I like the way it feels on my jerk. It feels more secure. So I'm just going to have to keep getting my mobility better, especially on that right arm. Well, that is fast. Whew. Aggressive. Yeah. I'm drifting back a little bit as I dip and drive, which is another thing that I do, especially like on push press. Like I'll dip, I'll drive, and my energy will take me back. So it's something I'm going to be focusing on here a bit on this cycle is as I dip and drive, find more of my midfoot. I think I'm just rocking back to my heels. I'm shifting too much of my weight back on my heels in my setup position. That, it just stems from when you're way back when getting into clean and jerking and Olympic weightlifting. Coaches tell you keep more of your weight midfoot to heels, so you dip your knees out instead of forward. I think I've just kind of overdone it some. I think this is the last set, so let's just take it on home here, Sean. Yep, solid. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to try to start doing more talking while lifting.